Good morning. Welcome to today's lesson. My name is Teacher Kelvin. I'll be taking you through business studies. So, business studies is one of the most interesting subjects. And before even I introduce the topic that I'm going to deal with, I just want to tell you that if you want to make business studies interesting, you start by having the main aim of studying business studies. Don't just study business studies with an aim of passing in the exam, but study it with an aim of becoming a future entrepreneur. Whenever you are revising, whenever the teacher is teaching you, take it as a subject that will make you a good entrepreneur in the near future. And on the topic of entrepreneurship, that is the topic that we'll be dealing with, a very interesting topic. So that is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship. And on entrepreneurship, we'll be dealing with various areas, various objectives that we want to achieve whenever we are learning this topic. One thing that we'll be dealing with is the definition of the term entrepreneurship. Definition of entrepreneurship. Then, after knowing what entrepreneurship is, the next thing that we need to know is an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur. An entrepreneur. Then, after that, we'll deal with the importance of entrepreneurship. How is entrepreneurship important in our society or the economy? Importance of entrepreneurship. After that, we'll now get to what we call business ideas, because as I'll be introducing entrepreneurship, you realize that it is identifying a business opportunity. So you must have what we call business idea. We'll also learn what is business idea and the various sources of business idea. After coming up with a business idea, we need to deal with a business opportunity. Business opportunity. That is a chance that an entrepreneur has for investment. After dealing with the business opportunity, where we'll be dealing with the various ways of evaluating a business opportunity, we need now, after you have identified a business opportunity, you need to come up with what we call a business plan. So we also need to deal with a business plan. Business plan. Then we'll deal with the various factors that influences entrepreneurship, factors influencing entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship. We'll deal with the various causes of business success. Causes of business success. And finally, we'll deal with business ethics. Business ethics. So to start with, we'll start with the definition of entrepreneurship. Definition of entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is the process of identifying a business opportunity, and acquiring necessary resources to start and run a business. So in this topic, we'll be dealing with How can we identify a business opportunity? How can we access the necessary resources that are required for us to start that business? Because you realize that in most cases, when you have the business opportunity, there are various resources that are required in order to run a business. We need financial resources, that is money. We need physical resources, that is things like office furnitures. We need technological resources, that is the computers and a person who is having high skills on operating the computers. We also need human resource. Human resource specifically refers to labor or employees. So we'll be dealing with the process of identifying a business opportunity, acquiring those necessary resources to start and operate a successful business. Who is this who is identifying the business opportunity? We call that person an entrepreneur. So who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is the person identifying a business opportunity and acquiring necessary resources to start and run a business. So that is the entrepreneur, a person who identifies a business opportunity, acquires the necessary resources, the resources that I've mentioned earlier, and start a successful business. But for you to be a good entrepreneur, there are various qualities that as an individual you need to have. You don't just come and venture into a business and you don't have these qualities. For you to be a good entrepreneur and for your business to success, there are various qualities or there are various characteristics that you need as an entrepreneur. And that brings us to the introduction of the next subtopic, which is the qualities or the characteristics of a good entrepreneur. Qualities or characteristics of a good entrepreneur, of a good entrepreneur. One, punctuality. A good entrepreneur should be punctual. When you are going to open up your business, you should be punctual. Get there on time. Be there on time so that you may be able to attract the customers and serve them in the right way. So punctuality is one of the most important qualities of an entrepreneur. The other quality is desire to achieve. Desire to achieve. As an entrepreneur, you need to have the desire to achieve. What do you want to achieve at that particular business that you are running? If you are starting a school, you must have the desire to achieve. You must have the desire to achieve in a way that you'll start a school that is going to produce quality students. The other characteristic of a good entrepreneur is perseverance. Perseverance. A good entrepreneur should have perseverance. In businesses, you don't just start a business and assume that you are going to succeed just like that. They are competitors, and these competitors, some of them will come up with stiff competition and unfair competition. When you are faced with unfair competition, what should you do as an entrepreneur? You should be perseverant. You should not give up. For instance, let's say you are starting a business of a school, and in the area that you are starting a school, there is a monopoly school there. In the process of starting the business, you may face stiff competition or unfair competition from the neighboring competitor or the school that is your competitor. So what do you do? As an entrepreneur, you should have the quality of not giving up. Trust in God as you run your business and don't give up no matter how what challenges you are facing in the process of running your business. And that brings us to persistence. Persistence. A good entrepreneur is persistence. He he or she continues to persist on doing what he is doing, on carrying out his or her business. Despite the challenges, a good entrepreneur will stand firm and continue persevering and being persistent in what he is doing. A good entrepreneur should have commitment. Be committed to your work. You cannot start a business that you are not committed to. Commitment. A good entrepreneur is committed to his work. If you are starting a business of selling shoes, you must be committed. If you are starting a business of selling bananas, you must be committed on the work that you are doing. Commitment is one of the very important characteristics of a good entrepreneur. The other one is seek information. Seeking information. A good entrepreneur has the quality of seeking information. Seek information from other people who have run the business previously. Seek information about the competition in the market. Seek information on what the government requires for you to run the business. Because you don't just start a business and you are not considering what the government requires. So you must seek information from friends, from the internet. There are various ways of seeking information. Seek information on how you can make your business successful. Go to successful entrepreneurs. Seek information from them about how you can run a business and operate it successfully. Another characteristic of a good entrepreneur is desire for feedback. Desire for feedback. A good entrepreneur should have the desire for feedback. You want to get to know what the customers are saying about your product. Don't be angry if they say that your product is of poor quality. That will help you to increase or improve the quality of your product. So a good entrepreneur is an entrepreneur who is willing to seek feedback from the customers and know where he or she can improve in the area of running his or her business. A good entrepreneur should be creative. Creativity and innovation. Creativity and innovation. When we talk about creativity, we are talking about coming up with new ideas. Coming up with new ideas. If you are a good entrepreneur, you must have the ability to come up with new ideas that will help you to start and run a successful business. Be a creative person. If you are an entrepreneur, you must be creative. Don't just depend on ideas that were created by other people. Come up with your new idea, and that idea will help you to run the business successfully. Be a creative person. You must be a creative person. When we come to innovation, innovation is modifying the existing ideas. The existing ideas, you modify them to make them better so that you can attract more customers. I remember when we talk about creativity, let me give you these examples so that you may remember that point. I remember back when I was in class 2, our class teacher asked us and told us that the person who is going to answer this question first is the person who is going to go home at 1 p.m. The rest will go home at 3. So the teacher was creative. He wanted to ask a class 8 question and we are in class 2 so that we can remain there. But I was creative enough to throw out my bag, and the first question the teacher asked was, "Who's that? Whose bag is that?" And I answered the question, "It is mine." I went home. That is how the entrepreneur should be. The entrepreneur should be creative, innovative, modifying ideas so that you can achieve in your business. So that is a good entrepreneur. So after that, we have dealt with the characteristics or the qualities of a good entrepreneur. Now that you are a good entrepreneur and you have known the characteristics that you need to have, let us look at the importance of entrepreneurship. How is entrepreneurship important to the economy? How is entrepreneurship important to the society? Importance of entrepreneurship. Importance of entrepreneurship. There are various importance of entrepreneurship. Importance of entrepreneurship. Importance of entrepreneurship. Remember that we said entrepreneurship is the process of identifying a business opportunity to start and run or operate a successful business. So in this particular case, when you start a business, you will create employment. Employment creation is one importance. Employment creation. Employment creation. So when a person starts a business, this particular person will be in a position to employ people who are jobless in that particular area. That is one of the most important importance of entrepreneurship. You'll be in a position to employ people who would otherwise be jobless. Employment creation. The other one is reducing rural to urban migration. Reducing rural to urban migration. Reducing rural to urban migration. When people start up businesses in the rural areas, those people who go to the urban areas, like you realize that in most cases, people will move from Kisumu, will move from Kirinyaga, people will move from various areas, rural areas, and come to Nairobi. Why are they coming to Nairobi? Because they want to search for job opportunities. What happens when these people come to Nairobi? There will be congestion. You realize that in this period of COVID-19 pandemic, most of the people are coming from Nairobi. Why? Because there is a lot of congestion in that particular area. So when we come up with businesses in the rural areas, people will stop moving to Nairobi to search for employment. Why? Because they will be employed in their rural areas. And that gives us another importance, making use of local resources. Making use of local resources, or utilizing resources, or utilizing the local resources. In the rural areas, there are very many resources that are unutilized. So for instance, when you start up a business, you'll be in a position to make sure that those resources in the rural areas are well utilized. They are well utilized. And you'll employ people, you'll use those resources, and you'll be in a position to make sure that the resources do not go to waste. The other importance of entrepreneurship is saving on imports. Saving on imports. So if Kenya does not produce enough for its citizens, this will force the Kenyan government to import from other countries. And you know, importing is very expensive. That money that will be used in importing goods from other countries can be used to develop the economy. But here is an entrepreneur, a creative entrepreneur. Many creative entrepreneurs who have come up with the business ideas and opportunities to start businesses. They will produce goods that could have otherwise been imported from other countries. Then the money that the government could have used in importing those goods will be used to develop the economy. And once the economy develops, every Kenyan or every citizen of that country is in a position to be very, very happy. The other importance of entrepreneurship is formation of capital. Formation of capital. Why do you start a business as an individual? Why do you start a business as an entrepreneur? The main aim of starting a business, if you go to the topic of production, still in Form 1, you realize that we have various factors of production. One factor of production is land. The other factor of production is labor. The other factor of production is capital. And the other factor of production is entrepreneurship. What is the reward for entrepreneurship? The reward for entrepreneurship is profit. So the main aim of starting entrepreneurship is making profit. So this profit that is made in the process of running your business can be plowed back. When we talk about plowing back, it's using that profit that you've gained in the process of running the business as capital for the business. For instance, let me give an example. You started a business worth 30,000. In the process of running the business, you get profit of 10,000. You can plow back this profit to expand your business and add more into the capital of the business. So formation of capital is another importance of is another importance of entrepreneurship. The other importance of entrepreneurship is improvement of infrastructure. Improvement of infrastructure. Infrastructure. When we talk about infrastructure, we are talking about things that is roads, transport network, communication network. So when a business is started in a particular area, those people will make sure that the roads or the transport network in that areas are well improved to make sure that the goods are being transported from the producer, that is from the business that you've started, to the consumer. The roads will also be constructed to ensure that the businesses are getting raw materials in an easy way. You can transport raw materials from where they are being produced to the business to facilitate efficient running of the business. So improvement of infrastructure is an important importance of entrepreneurship. The other one is promotion of technology. Promotion of technology. Technology. So when you start businesses in the rural areas or even in the urban areas, we need an advanced technology so that you can produce quality goods. So in the process of running a business, in the process of operating a business, you realize that the technology will be advanced and there will be promotion of technology. So these are just some of the importance of entrepreneurship, and they are very important. When you revise them as the way they are, you'll be in a position to answer the questions in the exam clearly. Employment creation. Reducing rural to urban migration, I've explained very well. Making use of local and utilized resources. You utilize them to make use of them so that they will just not be waste. Saving on imports. People or the government will not import from other countries. You are producing from your own country. Formation of capital, that is plowing back profit, the way I've illustrated here. The other one is improvement of infrastructure. That is the road network, the transport and communication network, and promotion of technology. Now here, you are an entrepreneur. You have known the importance of entrepreneurship to the economy. What do? Do you just start a business? No, you don't just start a business. You must have an idea. In everything that you do, you must have an idea. Even that day that you are taken to school, there was an idea that let us take this child to school so that he may learn. So you don't just start up a business, but you come up with an idea. So that brings us to what we call a business idea. What is an idea? If someone asks you, what is an idea? Business idea. Business idea. What is an idea? One day you have sat and someone has come and told you, I have an idea, my dear friend, I have an idea. I have an idea of going to a particular area. What is that we are calling an idea? An idea is a thought. You don't just have an idea without a thought. So an idea is a thought. So when we talk about business idea, it is a thought about a business that can be operated. So as an entrepreneur, who is a successful entrepreneur, with all these qualities of an entrepreneur, you come up with a thought about a business that you can operate. So a business idea is a thought about a business that can be operated, So you come up with a thought. It's a thought about a business that can be operated. And there are various sources of business idea. There are various sources of a business idea. What are these sources of a business idea? Sources of business idea. Where do you get these sources of what business you can operate? There are various sources of business ideas, and there are very many. One of them is magazines. Magazines. When reading magazines, you realize that there is an idea. You read a magazine and you realize that in a particular village, people do not have shoes. They are walking without shoes. So you come up with a business idea. Okay, so in that area, according to this magazine, they don't have what? They don't have shoes. So you can come up with an idea of making shoes and selling to them. Another source of business idea is newspapers. Newspapers. So if you want to be a good entrepreneur, keep on reading newspapers. Keep on reading newspapers and you'll be in a position to come up with a business idea. You'll read the newspaper and realize that in a particular area, those people do not wear suits. So you'll go to that area and make suits, take to them and sell to them at affordable prices, and you'll have opened up a business for yourself. Television. Television. Television is one of the most important source of business idea. You'll watch television, you'll watch news and realize that there is a particular area where they don't know what are apples. There is a particular area where they don't know about pineapples. So you'll go to that area and realize that there is a business idea. I can go and identify an opportunity in that area and start a successful business. The next is listening to what people say. Listening to what people say. Yes. You go to the rural areas or the urban areas and listen to what people say. You just go sit down and start listening. What are these people saying? These people are saying that in this area, people are selling KDF or the gumus at very high prices. Or in these areas, there are no cheap bananas. So you are listening to what people say. They will say, in this area, people who are making clothes for us, these clothes are not good. So you'll come up with an idea, okay, that is what people are saying. That in this area, this is what is happening. In this area, there is not this product. In this area, the products are of poor quality. Okay, I have an idea now. I can come and start this particular business in that area, depending on what you have heard people talking about. The next source of a business idea is waste product. Waste product. So, you know, there are some things that are waste to some people, but they are business ideas to good entrepreneurs. So, waste products. You go to particular areas and come up, take some waste products. If it's plastic, you can take waste plastics and come up with an idea of something that you can make and make people happy as they buy them and attract customers to buy that particular product. So waste product is also another source of business ideas. Hobbies. Hobbies. What do you like doing? You can get a business idea from what you like doing. Do you like do you like singing? You can get a business idea from that. Do you like making shoes? You can get a business idea from that. Do you like swimming? You can get a business idea from there. Because if your hobby is swimming, you can come up with an idea of making swimming equipment. So hobbies is also another source of a business idea. Another source of a business idea is vocational training. Vocational training. You are being trained. You are being trained in a particular area. So from what you are trained in, you can still come up with a successful business idea, a good business idea. The other source of a business idea is shows. Shows and exhibitions. You go to shows where various people or a number of people are coming up with their products so that you can see them. From what you see in the shows and exhibitions, you can be in a position to start and run a business or come up with a good business idea. Now, these are just some of the sources of a business idea. Now you have an idea and you have come up with an idea to start and run a business. You have an idea of starting a business of making shoes and selling shoes. You have an idea of starting a school, a private school. Now, after coming up with a business idea, do you just start a business? No, you don't start a business immediately after coming up with a business idea. Why? Because there may be other people who have the same ideas. So you must now go to the market and try to look for a business opportunity. Business opportunity. Business opportunity. So clearly, very well, I've said, you have come up with a business idea and you have realized that you have the idea of making and selling shoes. Or you have an idea of starting a private school. What do you do next after having the idea? You identify a business opportunity. Business opportunity. And what is a business opportunity? A business opportunity is a favorable chance that an entrepreneur has for investment. So remember that you there as a business studies student, the person I'm teaching is an entrepreneur. So we are dealing with you. I told you that if you want to pass in business studies, take it yourself as the entrepreneur. Now I'm dealing with you as the entrepreneur. You have identified a business opportunity, a business idea, sorry. You have come up with a business idea of selling shoes or starting a private school. What is next? You must now try to look for a chance. Yes, there is this idea of selling shoes. But where can I sell shoes? Where can I sell shoes? You don't just come up with the idea of selling shoes, go to Roiro and start selling shoes where there are many shoes. No, you must identify a favorable chance. That is what we call a business opportunity. A business opportunity is a favorable chance that an entrepreneur, you, the one I'm teaching, you are the entrepreneur, has for investment. Now you go and look for a chance to invest or to start the business that you have the idea about. And how can you identify this business opportunity? There are various gaps, my dear students, that exist in the market. You have the idea of selling shoes. You have the idea of selling fruits, but you must go to the market. Try to get the gaps in the market where you can get an opportunity or a chance to start your business. Where do these gaps exist? Gaps. Gaps in the market. Gaps in the market where one can get a business opportunity. Gaps in the market where one can get a business opportunity. So as you are going around the market, you realize that people are selling goods at high prices, unaffordable prices. You take that as an opportunity. People are selling shoes at unaffordable prices. That is a gap. Unaffordable prices. So you'll come up with your goods and sell them at affordable prices. So you have a chance to run the business. You have a chance to sell at affordable prices. The other gap in the market is as you are going around the market and asking the price of the goods, you have realized that they are selling at an affordable prices, or you have realized that this is not a gap because the prices they are selling at is very affordable. What other gap can you get? insufficient quantity. Yes, they are selling at very good prices, but the quantity there is not enough. The amount of goods is not enough. The people, that is, the supply is less than the demand. Many people want to buy those goods, but they are not enough. Insufficient quantity. Insufficient quantities. Goods are not enough in the market, so you come with yours so that goods can be enough. That is a business opportunity. Poor quality goods. You go to the market and realize that they are selling poor quality goods. Poor quality goods. I like giving examples so that you can understand. As we have said, you have an idea of starting a business of making and selling shoes. You have gone to the market and you have realized that, yes, they have shoes, affordable shoes. They have shoes and there is a lot of shoes in the market. But these people are telling you that these shoes are not resin. They will tell you that these shoes will last for 2 years. But after they buy the shoes, after a customer buys the shoes, he or she stays with it for 2 months. That is poor quality shoes. So you realize that they are selling resin shoes. They are selling poor quality shoes. Shoes that you'll buy today and after 2 months, you don't have the shoe again. So you'll come up with that as an opportunity to bring good quality shoes. The other example that I was giving of starting a private school. You'll go to the market and realize, yes, there is a private school in this particular area. But the quality of education they are offering, those students are performing poorly. The best is an E or the best is a D. That is poor quality goods. So you'll come up with a business idea. Okay, in this area, they have a private school, maybe a private secondary school. But this private secondary school is offering poor quality education. So that is an opportunity. You'll come and start up a good private school, teach well, employ qualifying teachers, and then after that, you'll be in a position to produce quality students. So that is a gap in the market. So you'll go to the market and ask, okay, do you have private schools here? Yeah, there are very many private schools. There are like 3 private schools. What is the school fees? The school fees is favorable. So this is not a chance. And affordable prices because it is favorable. Insufficient quantity. They have many students. And what was the best grade in that school? It was a D. The best had performed very well. He had a D. Okay, that is an opportunity. I can start a business and produce A's and B's. That is also a gap in the market. Another gap that you'll get in the market is poor services. Poor services. There are poor services in the market. The goods are sold here, but the services that are offered by those sellers, they are poor services. When you buy a product, there is no transport for the product. You can come up with that as a business opportunity and tell your customers, now my customer, welcome. Here we are selling shoes, and let me tell you, there is warranty of the shoes, and even if you want us to transport shoes to your shop, maybe you are a wholesaler, the producer, you want to sell to the retailers, so we can transport them. Good services. Customer, please. Okay, the customer asks you, how much is one shoe? It is 1,500. But in the market, there are poor services because if the seller says it's 1,500 and the customer wants to bargain, okay, I just have 1,000. There are sellers that do not have good quality, or they don't know how to talk to customers. They'll tell you, you have 1,000, it's okay, you just go with your 1,000. Here we cannot sell shoes of 1,000. How can we sell shoes of 1,000? That is a customer, that is a seller who don't know how to talk to customers. Those are poor services. You come now to the market. How much is a shoe? It's 1,500. I just have 1,000. Now you have good way of talking to the customer. Customer, it's okay, you have 1,000, but these shoes are very good. Okay, let me sell the shoes at 1,200. You talk well to the customer, offer good services to the customer. You will have gotten a gap in the market and a chance to start and run a successful business in that particular area. The other one is lack of product in the market. Lack of product in the market. There is no that product in the market. So you will get that as an opportunity and take the product to the market. That is another gap in the market that you can get to operate a business. Now you have identified a business opportunity. What next? You have realized that in this particular market, I can run the business. What is the next thing that you need to do, my dear student? What is the next thing that you need to do as an entrepreneur? You have the opportunity to start the school. You have the opportunity to start the business of selling shoes. You don't just come and start the business. You must evaluate that business opportunity and assess whether it is viable or not. So the next subtopic is evaluating business opportunity. Evaluating business opportunity. Evaluating business opportunity simply means assessing whether the opportunity is viable or not. Is viable or not. Is viable or not. So after you have identified a business opportunity and you have realized that there is an opportunity to run the business, you must assess whether the business opportunity is viable or not. Is selling these shoes going to be successful? That is what we talk about viability. Is it going to bring profit to you? Because the main aim of business is to bring profit. Is it going to bring profit to you? Is starting a private school viable? Is it going to bring profit to you? That is what we call assessing whether a business opportunity is viable or not. And there are two ways of assessing whether a business opportunity is viable or not. One way is a personal consideration. Personal consideration. Personal consideration. When we talk about personal consideration, we are talking about a person as an entrepreneur. I have identified this business opportunity. There are various things that affect me as an entrepreneur, or you, my dear student, as the entrepreneur, concerning the business opportunity that you have. So personal consideration, we are dealing with the factors that comes from the entrepreneur himself. And there are only 4 factors that you need to consider in order to assess whether the business opportunity is viable or not in personal consideration. 1 is skills. I want to start a business of operating a private school. Do I have enough skills? Do I have adequate knowledge and skills on how to operate a school? I want to start a business of making and selling shoes. Do I have enough skills to make and sell the shoes? That is one thing that you must consider. Yes, you have the opportunity, but do you have the skills to run the business where you have found the chance to run that particular business? The other thing is interest. Interest. What is the interest of the entrepreneur when starting this business? Do you have interest in making shoes? Or you have just taken the business of making shoes because you don't have a job, you realize that you can make shoes, but you don't have interest. Do you have interest of starting a school? Or you have just seen it as a good business and you have started? So you must consider whether you have the interest of operating the business where you have realized or identified a business opportunity. Next is objectives. Objectives. What are the main aims of starting that business? What is your aim? What is your objective? The aim of starting the business. Is it just making profit? You are starting, what is your aim of starting a private school? Is it just to make profit or to produce quality product? You must have good aims or objectives for the business to be successful. For instance, if you are starting a private school, you should take the main aim as producing quality students, not just making profit. Let making profit be second, but the first should be producing quality students. So if you have a good aim and a good objective, a good reason of starting that business, then that means that the business opportunity is viable and you can proceed to start the business. The other one is commitment. 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 Are you committed to the business? How much are you going to be committed to your private school that you have started? If you are committed, you will employ qualified teachers. If you are committed, you will provide quality education to the students. Have commitment. Let your commitment be towards the business that you are starting. If you are making shoes, let your commitment be to making shoes. Make a sharpshooter that will make the customers to be attracted towards the business. Commitment is another personal consideration that you should have when starting a business. Now, having considered the personal consideration, the skills, whether you have the skills, the interest, are you interested in that business, the objectives, what is the main aim of starting the business, and the commitment, are you committed to the business, then you can say that this business opportunity might be viable, but you are not through evaluating. Because there is another thing that you need to consider. Business consideration. Business consideration. Business consideration. Business consideration. So the first thing, just a review, we have said, we are assessing whether the business opportunity is viable or not. We have considered personal consideration. You as an entrepreneur, you consider yourself, what you have and what you should have. But there is other factors outside the entrepreneur himself. Yes, you have all this, but there are other factors that may affect the operation of your business. You must consider them. Factors that are outside the entrepreneur himself. Factors, we call them external factors. External factors that are outside the entrepreneur himself. And these factors may also affect the business. So you must consider them before starting the business. What are these factors? One of them is government policy. What is the policy of the government concerning the business that you want to start? Like now, you want to start a private school come January, and we are in a COVID-19 pandemic session. Now, in this particular area, you realize that the Minister of Education will tell you that you must have sanitizers, you must have the mask, you must have the gun that is going to measure temperature. There is 1 meter distance between the students. So you must have many classes. So although you have all these, you must consider what is the government policy. What is the rules of the government concerning the business you are starting? Do you have enough classes to have the 1 meter distance? So you must consider the government policy. It's a very important factor. The government is always involved in business. Like there is a topic in Form 2 called government involvement in business, because government influences businesses a lot. Government policies can make your business to either succeed or fail, depending on how the policies are. If they are favorable policies, then that's well and good. The other one is availability of market. Availability of market. Market refers to customers. Do you have enough customers? Do you have enough students who are going to come to your business or not? So you must consider the availability of market. Do you have enough customers who are going to buy your shoes? Availability of market. If the market is there, then the business opportunity is viable. If you have enough students to come to your school, then the business opportunity of starting the school is viable and you can proceed. The other business consideration factor that you should consider is infrastructure. Infrastructure. How are the roads there? Will you be in a position to be transporting the goods that you are selling or not? Will you be in a position to be transporting the goods? How are the roads? Are the roads good? Are the roads good to transport the goods that you are going to produce or not? So you must consider infrastructure, that is transport and communication system. So infrastructure is one factor. The other one is availability of resources. Do you have enough resources? Do you have enough resources? When we talk about resources, we are talking about we are talking about employees. Do you have enough human resource? Do you have physical resource? Physical resources are like furniture. Do you have technological resources? Do you have enough human resource, that is labor? You must consider availability of resources. The other factor that you need to consider is culture. What is the culture of the people in the area that you are going to start the business? For example, can you start a business of selling pork in an area where we have Muslims? That is not a good idea. So you must consider the culture of the people in the area where you want to start the business. So these are just some of the business consideration or external factors that you must consider before when evaluating a business opportunity. So for today we have discussed up to business opportunity. We've seen the definition of entrepreneurship. We have seen entrepreneur, who is an entrepreneur, and the various qualities of entrepreneur, the importance of entrepreneurship, business idea, and also business opportunity. So I can see there's several questions coming. Continue sending questions, and as I'm going to answer them. So let me see the questions. So there's a question here. Explain 5 reasons why a business may fail. There is a question, explain 5 reasons why a business may fail. Although we've not reached in that particular area, that is causes of business success, I'll still answer that question. What are the factors that can make a business to fail? One is poor location. Poor location. What causes of business failure? Business failure. One is poor location. When we talk about poor location, we are talking about locating a business in an area where you don't have enough customers. That is poor location. So your business will not have customers and therefore you will not make profit. It's going to fail. The other one is unfavorable government policy. Unfavorable government policy. The government policy are not favoring the business that you are starting or the business that you are operating. So if we have unfavorable government policy, the business is going to fail. The next one is stiff competition. Stiff competition. There are very many people who are operating the same kind of a business that you are operating. Therefore, you'll realize that you are competing for customers. There is stiff competition. So when there is stiff competition, the business will fail because it will not make enough profit. It will not make enough profit. Another factor that may lead to business failure is poor public relations. How do you relate with your customers? Poor public relation. You have started a business, yes, very well, but you don't know how to relate with the customers. A customer comes to your shop and asks you, how much is a bread? A bread is 50 shillings, but that customer has 40 shillings. I have 40 shillings. Then you tell him, go to where? They sell bread at 40 shillings. Here we sell at 50 shillings. That is poor public relation. Talk to the customer very well. Customer, it is okay. I'm very good. I'm going to sell the product to you at 40 shillings, but appreciate me with 10 shillings tomorrow. I will allow you to bring the 10 shillings tomorrow. You have good public relation, and many people will be rushing to your business. But poor public relation will lead to unsuccessful business. The next one is lack of enough capital. Lack of enough capital. You don't have enough money to run the business. The business will fail because you will not be able to meet all the needs of the business that requires money. The next one is what we call poor planning. Poor planning. In the next lesson, we'll deal with the business plan, and I'll show you how to make plans or a business plan. So if you have started a business and you have poor planning, that means that the business is going to fail. So I've answered that question. So there is another question here. There is Hilda from Awasi. Can you explain to me some of the factors that encourage entrepreneurship activities in Kenya? So there are very many activities that encourages entrepreneurship in Kenya. Factors encouraging entrepreneurship. Factors encouraging entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship. When you are asked this kind of a question, you need to ask yourself, what can encourage you to start a business? One is favorable government policy. Favorable government policy. The policies or the rules and the regulations concerning the business that you want to start, they are favorable. So if they are favorable, you'll venture into that business and the business will succeed. The next factor that encourage entrepreneurship activities in a country is political stability. Political stability. You realize that when there is political instability, like in 2007 when there was post-election violence, the businesses failed because you'll be told not to operate businesses in this particular area. So political stability, when there is political stability, the business is going to succeed. Another factor that may encourage entrepreneurship in a country is improved infrastructure. When there are good roads in that particular areas, you'll be in a position to run a business successfully, and that is a factor that will encourage many people to start a business or to start businesses. Another area is another factor is availability of market. Availability of market. We said market are customers. So you stay in a particular area and realize that people are saying, hey, we need a school, we need another private school in this area. You realize that there is market in that area and you'll be encouraged to start a private school in that area. Availability of market. Availability of resources will encourage you. Availability of resources. You have enough resources. You have enough resources to start and run a business. There are even resources that are unutilized in a particular area. So you have those resources. If you have them available, you will be encouraged to start a business because you know that you have adequate resources to run that particular business. So these are some of the factors encouraging entrepreneurship. There are very many. This is a simple question. Factors encouraging entrepreneurship activities in our countries. We also have availability of raw materials. We also have adequate finance. You have a lot of money. You have adequate finance. So you have money and you know that you can run a business. So you are encouraged to start up a business. So another question here is from Kelvin from Kisii. The functions of an entrepreneur. What are the functions of an entrepreneur? Let us answer that question. Functions of an entrepreneur. Yes, we dealt with the characteristics. We dealt with the characteristics of an entrepreneur. Now, what are the roles of an entrepreneur or the functions of an entrepreneur? Remember that an entrepreneur is a factor of production. And being a factor of production, we have other three factors of production: capital, land, and labor. So, an entrepreneur, he is the one who controls all the other factors of production, all the other factors of production. After controlling them, for example, he is the one who will get the land, he is the one who will get capital, he is the one who will employ labor. He must pay them. So the next function is rewards. Rewards other factors of production. Rewards other factors of production. He is the one of production. He is the one who will pay wages to the labor or to the workers. He is the one who will pay rent for the land. He's the one who will pay interest for the capital. The other factor is that he manages or make decisions for the business. He is the owner of the business, and therefore he is the one who makes major decisions for the business, how the business is going to be operated. He is also the one who will provide resources to operate the business. It is the entrepreneur who will provide resources needed to operate the business. And he also bears all the risk, all the risks of the business. When we are talking about risk of the business, when you are talking about a business, you must be a risk taker. You must be a good risk taker. One of the characteristics that we never mentioned is a risk taker. A risk taker. So he is the one who bears all the risk. When profit comes, he is the one who is going to bear all those profit. If the losses come, he is the one who is going to bear the losses. Thank you for the lesson. The rest of the question I'll answer in the next lesson of business studies. I hope that you've understood everything that we've learned. We've learned the topic of entrepreneurship, where we started by introducing what is entrepreneurship. You identify a business opportunity to start and run a business. You as an entrepreneur, you need to have various qualities: punctuality, desire to achieve, ability to solve problems. And then we also discussed the importance of entrepreneurship. Why is it important to start businesses? And then after that, I told you, you must have come up with an idea of starting a particular business that you want to run. And after coming up with an idea, you have to search for an opportunity. Identify a business opportunity where you will be in a position to run that business. And we discussed various gaps in the market where you can get that opportunity. And then we have said, after identifying a business opportunity, you must evaluate and assess whether the business opportunity is viable or not. Using personal consideration, we had skills, interest, commitment, and objectives, and business consideration. And then up to that area, I hope that you've understood. In the next lesson, we deal with the other areas. I'll show you how to draw a business plan. Thank you for those who have asked the questions. Thank you for listening, and thank you for being with me throughout the lesson. When you trust in God and you continue revising, I'm telling you that you are going to achieve, and all will be well. Thank you very much for being with me. My name is Teacher Kelvin. See you next time.